Hey, what's going on, fam? So I just want to make another quick video about the death of the brother Nipsey Hussle and some of the responses to it. Now, as you guys know, the brother Nipsey Hussle, the rapper, he died. He was murdered by an associate of his over an alleged dispute that they had prior to the killing of brother Nipsey. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, and the reason why a lot of people are talking about his murder, is because not only that he was a rapper or a famous person, but because this was a unique brother in the fact that he was doing a lot of work in our community. He was a business owner. He was buying real estate in his local community. So he was really basically an activist, but not just an activist in the terms of protesting. He was really about the action of in using his resources to help uplift his local community, provide jobs, like I said, own some of the real estate to prevent gentrification. And now there is some conflict out there over whether or not his death was just random street life or was it a greater conspiracy connected to wanting him dead. And I have my own thoughts about that, but that's not what this video is going to be about. This video is going to be about the self-hate that the brother Nipsey's death is exposing. And I want to say again, RIP to Nipsey. Rest in power, rest in peace. Um, I kind of said something, in the last video on Marion Williamson video before I got into the topic. I had addressed the brother Nipsey and his impact, but I want to address it again and say, um, rest in peace and rest in power to the brother. And that was a painful loss to black people as a whole, but especially to black people in LA. And in his local community in Crenshaw and in Slauson and in that area. I'm not from LA, but I know from the testimonies of people who are from LA and are still in LA that he was major. And just even without the testimonies, I mean, if you hear about his work and you see his work, you know it's an impactful work that he was doing. But anyway, I want to get to the self-hate that it's exposing among black people, period, but also among rappers in particular. So what it's doing, when Nipsey got killed, it prompted a lot of black people to go on ahead and come out the closet with their black on black crime beliefs and their coonish beliefs. And I'm going to break down, because I know all the counters. No, we just want to hold accountable. We just want to hold the black people accountable. And I'm just going to expose how this is not really about holding black people accountable. It's about self-hate. So first I want to start with Meek Mill. So Meek Mill put out a tweet saying, "Can you imagine trying to fight for niggas that you know will kill you?" And first I want to say, yes, Meek, I can imagine that, because me as someone, the whole purpose of my YouTube channel is fighting for black people. And Meek Mill is black. So I would include him in the people that would be affected by the kind of work I'm attempting to do by having a YouTube channel and the other things I do, to try to make an impact in the community. I would, even though I can't do anything necessarily financially to help Meek Mill, obviously, still some of the rights that I'm fighting for, the reparations that I'm fighting for, the abolition of white supremacy, period, is what I'm fighting for. And whether you're a rich black person or a poor black person, what you're affected by white supremacy. And excuse me for the sniffling, I got a little bit of allergy, but um, you're affected by white supremacy no matter what. So I'm saying that to say, Meek, I can relate to that statement, because I'm fighting for niggas that will kill me, like you, Meek. You're the type of nigga that would kill me. Why am I saying that? What I want to do is read some lyrics from Meek Mill's appearance on the song Chirac. So let's start from the beginning. You fuck around, get smoked. You fuck around, get smoked. Nigga, you fuck around and get smoked. If for those of you who don't know, smoke means killed, shot up, murdered. Niggas knows the rules in my hood. If you touch me, you get murked. We ain't with that back and forth. It ain't no rap. We hitting first. G5, we be at live by Sunday when you in the church. Mama stressing, selling dinner plates, trying to get your casket and your hearse. Last nigga that slid on us got dropped on it. He told on us. Every nigga you see with me got ice on them, bank rolls on us. Nah, nigga, no one-on-ones. We don't fight fair. We just roll on them. Excuse me for the sniffling again. Via stones and Cuban links, all that iceware with that gold on them. We ain't swinging no flag, nigga. We don't need no pass, nigga. Glock 40 with a clip and with a 30 clip and a laser on it. Play tag with us. I'm just gonna stop there. Y'all get the picture. So Meek is making this tweet referring to the death of Nipsey and fighting for people that will quote unquote kill you. And I'm bringing this up to point out how the same rappers who make a living, because this is not his only song that has lyrics like this, and I'm not singling out Meek as the only rapper who raps like this. Obviously, anyone who listens to rap, who listens to real rap, knows that the majority of rappers have lyrics like this, violent lyrics like this. So you guys make millions of dollars glorifying murder. What happened to Nipsey, glorifying the exact type of thing that happened to Nipsey, killing people over silly beefs, over feeling disrespected, over jealousy. You the main dude, one of the main dudes making millions off rapping that type of stuff to black people and promoting that as black culture. But then when Nipsey gets killed, all of a sudden you want to get on the internet. Can you imagine fighting for niggas that will kill you? Yes, Meek, because you're one of the niggas that will kill us. Unless you're admitting, of course, you're not really about that life and you're just a suburban clown fronting. How are the same people who make millions off promoting this kind of stuff to black people now trying to turn around and act shocked and astonished that there are actually people who live that life for real? Now, I'm not co-signing the dude who killed Nipsey. He's a scumbag. He's a dirtbag. He deserves to be in jail. He deserves the electric chair, etc., etc., etc. I'm not defending or justifying that dude's actions by pointing out Meek's lyrics. I'm not justifying that dude's actions whatsoever. I'm not. But all I'm doing is pointing out how the hypocrisy, and that this is not about Meek Mill trying to hold black people accountable. This is about him being a coon. Because if he wasn't, he wouldn't say no dumb shit like this. Because what this is rooted in is in a greater problem with black people, that we always try to put the actions of one or two black people on all black people. And we are the only race that does that because we have been trained to do that by the white supremacists. Even though nobody else does that. White people don't do it, Asians don't do it. But when we commit some sort of crime, when one of us commits some sort of crime, all of us are expected to come to account for that. Nobody else has to do that. The Hispanic community was not required to come out en masse and denounce George Zimmerman and say, we got to do better. We got to do better. Hell, speaking of Hispanics in LA, they're probably bigger gangbangers than black people in LA. But you don't see them coming out telling them, we got to do better. We got to do better, because they know the action of some ignorant fools don't reflect on all of them. When that white man shot up Vegas, when you have countless white people shooting up Columbine, Vegas, Dylan Roof going and shooting up churches, all these mass shooter white dudes, you don't have white people coming out in mass talking about, we got to do better, white people got to do better. Yeah, you might have a few white liberals that'll say it, but they're an extreme minority. You got black people left and right coming out the woodwork talking this, we got to do better, we got to do better. Another rapper I want to read his tweet and expose him is Pusha T. So let's look at Pusha T's tweet. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. So Pusha T says, we have done Nipsey Hussle wrong. He was sharing his purest self, his vision, and traits from his heritage with all of us. Empowerment and a sense of community, something that many of us don't have. White supremacy at its finest couldn't have done something this terrible. Now, everything he's saying about Nipsey is true. I'm not denouncing that, disagreeing with that at all. But the problem comes in this tweet in his last sentence. White supremacy at its finest couldn't have done something this terrible. Well, let me question that, brother. How about white supremacy hanging a black woman, lynching her, and then cutting her baby out of her stomach and stepping on the baby's head? White supremacy did that. How about tying a black man, each of his limbs, his each arm and each leg, to horses, and then whipping them to go in different directions to tear his body apart? How about that? And do it in front of the rest of the plantation and instill fear in them. How about the black people who had to travel on a journey on a slave ship? And they were so compacted like cargo that they were shitting and pissing on each other. How about that? How about the countless black women that have been raped by white men and the white men got away with it because they were white? How about that? But you want to tell me white supremacy at its finest couldn't have done something this terrible? No, you're right. White supremacy at its finest does much, much worse than this. White supremacy at its least does something like this. How about the killing of Fred Hampton, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X? And then, yes, I know some of those people had black assassins, especially Malcolm X, but they were government agents. How about that? The white supremacy at its finest couldn't have done something this terrible. Now, let me bring up some of Pusha T's lyrics. So this is from Pusha T saying a song called Take My Life. I hope you pussy motherfuckers die. Wish death upon they soul until they burn it in a fire. I'm the illest motherfucker breathing. Fuck your rhyme or your reason. Fucking over your issues is killing whole nigga season. So once again, a nigga who gets on the internet and wants to act so astonished and shocked that there are people who actually live the life that they make money off pretending that they live. And why am I saying that they pretend that they live it? Because clearly you don't live the life if you're acting so shocked and devastated that somebody would do this to Nipsey. And again, I'm not justifying or defending that it was done to him. It's a terrible thing. But at the same time, you are the same clowns that promote this kind of stuff and help perpetuate it in our communities. And now you want to get up and blame us for the type of shit you rap? And most of you who listen to my videos, you'll know I don't really curse that much. But this video, I feel, necessitates cursing to get my point across and to speak the language of some of these ignorant idiots. This is blatant hypocrisy for any of you clowns. And I know there's other rappers who said similar stuff, but I just wanted, all I need is to use Pusha T and Meek Mill, and that pretty much suffices for all the rappers. Because what I'm saying about them applies to any other coon rapper who's coming out and saying similar shit. Because I'm sure you can I know Lil Boosie said some coon shit. You can pull up his lyrics and hear him talking about killing people left and right. Doing exactly what Mr. Eric Holder did to Nipsey. Bragging about doing exactly what Mr. Eric Holder did to Nipsey. But now all of a sudden, you coons are stunned and devastated that somebody would do something like this. And then, you know, I'm basically done with the video, but I want to wrap up with saying this. As I kind of touched on before, black people, you want to talk about this, how we got to do better. How we got to do better because of the actions of one fool. Okay, fine. We got to do better. We got to talk about our community. So any black person who says that, I ask you this question. So when are you going to stop shooting and killing other black people? When are you going to start doing drive-bys? When are you going to do better? When are you going to stop shooting people for disrespecting you? Because again, this when you say we, When you put it on us, you're basically admitting yourself because you're black, me, and all black people basically have this problem. Or an overwhelming majority of us have this problem. See, because when I ask you that, I know 99.9% of people say, but I ain't killing nobody. I ain't shooting nobody. Exactly. So shut the fuck up saying we. It's one idiot. Again, as I already touched on in the video earlier. And I don't want to make this a what about black on black crime video because that's been just debunked so many goddamn times. But I'll say it again since clearly black people still have a Sambo infestation in our community. Nobody else takes the actions of one person, one member of their race, and puts it on the entire race. Only black people do that, and we get that from white supremacists. And we need to let that shit go because it's dangerous and it's deadly, and it'll be used to harm all of us based on the action of one or two idiots. It'll be used to justify harming all of us. It's already used to justify harming all of us, and you idiots are sitting up here co-signing it. So if you want to sit up here and take responsibility for something for that, then you need to take responsibility for what you're doing. Since you're clearly willing to apply that to all black people, if your ass is black, that applies to you too. And if you're not black, guess what? If I see a white person doing something, I'm applying it to all white people. If I see an Asian person doing something, I'm applying it to all Asian people since that's the standard y'all hold us to. And speaking of standards, that's the last thing I want to say. A lot of cowardly coons, that'll be their only deflection. Oh, I hold black people to a higher standard. No, you don't, nigga. No, you don't. You only hold black people to a standard. You don't hold white people or anybody else to a standard because you're a coward. You have no justification for quote unquote holding black people to a quote unquote higher standard other than as cover for the fact that you're not gonna hold white people to no type of standard. You ain't gonna hold Asians to no type of standard. You ain't gonna hold Hispanics to no type of standard. Because you're too scared to do it because you're a punk and it's easy to pick on the weakest people, which are black people. You're a coward. But anyway, fam, I know this video was a very angry video, but I'm angry. I'm angry over the brother's Nipsey death, but I'm almost just as angry, not quite as angry, but almost equally as angry as the coons who are using his death to promote their coonery. Because Nipsey was the opposite of a coon. He was a rider and a soldier in our community. And you coons want to use a soldier's death to promote further fucking coonery. Fuck you, niggas. But anyway, I apologize to my listeners if any of you were offended by my video. But I had to say what I had to say because it's the truth. And like they said, we got to address the reality in our communities. But anyway, that's another video. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.